Yeah, I mean, on the finances, Dakota, do you use QuickBooks? What do you use?
Yeah. So I think it was 2 or 3 years ago I switched, and it has been, I think, one of the best investments I've ever made. I used to spend because I do my own GST. I don't do my own like income tax return. I pay, I just, I go in with for my accountant once a year. I pay him $500 and he does my returns, but I do all my own GST recording quarterly and stuff like that. And so like I have to enter in all my receipts and stuff like that. That used to take me easily 1 to 2 days per quarter. So like, 8 to 10 days per year. They were some of the most anxiety, like stress filled, just like terrified, because I didn't know what I was doing. The program that I used to use a program called MoneyWorks. It was just absolute garbage. And so from days, now my accounting process with QuickBooks, I can do a GST return for a quarter in like less than 5 minutes. It is absolutely insane. My invoicing is so much faster. I don't dread invoicing customers. It's easier for me to keep track of my receivables. I get notifications if somebody doesn't pay me. It's like, I think I've got like the upper tier. It's like I'm paying $50 a month Canadian for mine. You probably don't need that high of level, at least for the amount of stuff that I'm doing. But the problem with QuickBooks, which just pisses me off, is if you have the premium package and you want to downgrade, you lose all your data. So you have to start over from scratch. So I didn't realize this. I upgraded, and then they told me that, and then I complained. So they gave me a year or 2 years or something at like the low price. But now my trial period's up, and so I'm paying $50 a month. But it's the best $50 a month I've ever spent.
Wow. So I used to use QuickBooks for my farm, and I loved it. I loved it because I had a lot of daily transactions.
Yeah.
But now I'm not commercially farming, so I actually don't even use QuickBooks anymore. I do all of my own accounting. I have accountants that do all of my taxes and stuff,
Yeah.
which I pay for. Isn't it insane that you pay somebody to pay taxes? But whatever, it is what it is. I don't use QuickBooks anymore because all my daily transactions are managed through my websites. So most of it's from the field.tv now. And so I actually don't even use QuickBooks anymore because what I do is everything that I spend for in the company, I use a credit card. And so all of my accounting, I do monthlies. I do our monthly finances at the end of each month or the beginning of the next month. And then I just take all my credit card statements. Those all get exported into an Excel document. Boom. It takes me 10 minutes to do. I spend 10 minutes a month in accounting. And then at the end of the year, I spend, I don't know, maybe 4 hours. And I actually don't find QuickBooks useful for me anymore. It
No.
was QuickBooks was actually very complicated because I sometimes deal in hundreds of transactions a day through my websites. And it all goes through QuickBooks. It actually caused me more of a headache. Now I just export everything from either Stripe or PayPal, and then because I'm doing something different, and so I don't bother using it anymore.
Interesting. Yeah. See, and I can see that, like, if I had my own, if I had my own bookkeeper in addition to my accountant, I think I would do what you're doing, is just download that stuff and give it to them. But if like for me, like if now, because I manage my own kind of day-to-day stuff, and I'm also using QuickBooks Online, not
Yeah,
the
not the hard version.
hard version. So I don't know if it's probably very similar, but there's a lot of like actually automated features. Like the more I've used it, the easier it gets. Like it starts to, like, it's kind of scary, but like it learns your like habits of, like, if you buy from like PV Mart,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, what are most of your purchases from this store? What category do they go to? And so, like, make suggestions. So for my scheduling, typically, like every 1 to 2 days, in my kind of busy season where I've got a lot of transactions, or once a week in a slow time, I just go through and just just check all my stuff, and that takes like a few minutes. And then, but the big kind of, my tax return where I'm filling in my, 108s and 105s lines in Canada, here's what they're called, and doing that return, it's just a few minutes. But the other nice thing about QuickBooks I found is it gives you, and like, again, there's other ways you can do this. Like if you're doing your monthly stuff like Curtis is talking about, but I like kind of seeing what my profit and loss is, and like being able to pull those reports up, which QuickBooks and I think a lot of the other online things are very similar. So don't just get stuck with that. That's the one I went with. But being able to see what your profit and loss is on a day-to-day basis has been like, I didn't realize how lacking that piece of information was in my ability to make decisions about what I was going to purchase and what I wasn't, or things like that. So it's been really helpful. But
I find for farming commercially, QuickBooks is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I would say it's very necessary. Once in our last couple of years, we set up everything to be QuickBooks Online, and we had all of our invoicing on tablets and smartphones, and that was amazing. Show up to the job or show up to the delivery. I always gave them a paper invoice, but then I'd have them sign on the device, and that was
See, I don't do any paper. Like I have a Square Reader, and my website also, they all integrate in with QuickBooks, so I don't have to do any downloads or like anything manual like that. I literally just go in and just like I hit accept. And just manually, but although it is, you have to make sure it's set up properly. Like I did hire some bookkeepers.
Yes.
Like another really good is like set up your chart of accounts and then hire a bookkeeper who's trained with QuickBooks to go through it and tell you what the stupid things you're doing wrong.
Exactly.
I had a bookkeeper find like a $20,000 mistake because my credit card reader, it was double entering my income, and I thought I was just making a killing.
Yeah, right.
And there was $20,000 extra of income because I was reallocating it into like the sub accounts, because it was all coming in as like Square income, and then I was breaking into like beef, pork, eggs, whatever. And so it was like $40,000 of income. And so I was about to pay a shitload worth of taxes.
Wow.
And luckily I found that, or the bookkeeper found it, and I straightened it out. So, but now that I think I paid for 2 or 3 hours, it's like $100 an hour for a bookkeeper. And
that's so worth it. That's so worth it. Yeah. Get that set up right at the beginning, and then it's going to be gravy going forward. But if you don't have things set up, it's like anything, building a foundation to a house or a foundation to a farm, right?